This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, hello everyone. Thanks for joining this demo session. I'm Saravanan Srinivasan, who is going to take you through this entire journey of App Dynamics. Okay, I have close to 11 years of experience in this field, like tools like LoadRunner, JMeter, NeoLoad, Performance Center, Dynatrace, App Dynamics. I do take the performance engineering sessions as well. So basically, for this demo, we are going to see what we are planning to learn with respect to App Dynamics 2. This is the course content basically. Say in App Dynamics, first we should have an understanding like why we are going to these APM tools, okay, these application performance monitoring tools or the management tools. Why we are really going to these tools? Why that cannot be done in the regular performance testing uh, 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 tool metric? Because I know in this forum many would be like currently doing the performance testing activity. The way we are or the way the performance testers are providing the report, in what way it is different when we are using these APM tools, right? That understanding we should have before going into these APM tools. That is what we are going to learn in this. And also in App Dynamics, what are all the different features that are available, the capabilities that are available, that we are going to learn here in this course journey. I'm going to explain like what is application agent. I'm going to show you as a sample application in which you are going to configure your application agent, how you are going to take your metric. That is what we are going to see. And also machine agent. Machine agent is nothing but how your CPU, memory, disk, those metrics, in order to capture that, how we are going to configure your agent and how we are going to take the metric. That also we are going to see. And then the third one is database agents. Say I'm going to show you a database agent for MySQL database and then MongoDB database. For these two database, I'm going to show you how to do the database configuration and then how the data can be getting in App Dynamics, how you are investigating whether it is something related to DB issue or what, like that we are going to see. And also the fourth one is user experience agent. Say in browser, whenever you are loading something in the browser will say like this is the time taken for your HTML content loading, CSS, JS, like that it will give you, right? That information also we are trying to bring in. So all the way we are trying to learn on application level what is happening, for for infrastructure level what is happening, on a user experience level what is happening, on database level what is happening, like that we are going to learn the end-to-end perspective. Okay, and then we are also going to see how to create a dashboard, how to create a report. All those things also we are going to learn. Okay. Okay. So we are going to learn like how to create a dashboard in a single view, how we are going to add multiple metrics, so that instead of going to each and every tab and then the metric, you can use this single view of a dashboard, how you can understand your application performance issues, like that. So that's the way we are going to use the dashboards and reporting one. And also there is a intelligence available in App Dynamics, which is nothing but your alerts and response. So now, because currently what is happening, there are support teams are there, right? The support teams, what they will do, they will sit in the machine for 24/7, do the supporting activity. Is there a problem with your application? Is there a CPU issue, memory issue? They'll create a level 1 ticket, level 2 ticket, like that, and then they will send it to the respective team. The respective team will fix the issue, right? This is a chain of activities that is happening. There are manual interventions are there, but using this App Dynamics tool, you can set the threshold for each and every metric. The tool will do the recovery action, that we are going to learn. Okay, if you can create a thread dump, or you can create a Jira ticket, or you can do some kind of HTTP request trigger, or you can do a custom action, or you can send an email, or you can send an SMS like that. You can do the recovery action also. If there is a breach in the threshold, it will do the recovery action. So that also we are going to learn this. Okay. And then I'm going to show you a tool level integrations, like when you are running a load runner script or when you are running a JMeter script, how the load is actually coming to your app dynamics, how you can understand, is it only my load or some other real user also access to my application. So in that way, you can categorize whenever you are running a load testing, how the application is really behaving, right? That metric you can capture. Okay, I'll stop here for some time. Anybody have any question, guys? You can ask me, please.
So Raghavendra here. So we are going to look like how to install like app dynamic agents and app dynamic servers.
Yeah,
If you
everything.
can leave
I say I have two sample applications with me. Okay, I'll share with you guys when we are going for our regular course journey. Right? That time I will share with you those two applications. In those two applications, I will tell you how to actually deploy those applications. First of all, because I'll make you learn a lot of things. Means first of all, you need to have a sample application. That sample application has to be deployed in a server, and then you are going to prepare your app dynamics, and then you are going to download the agents. That agents can be configured with your application, and then you are going to take the data. That is a primary thing you need to do. It is not like something is available, you are going to read it or what. No, we are going to on the ground, we are going to work, configure, and then learn it. Okay, so I'm going to give you JPEG Store, one sample application, Express Cart, that is another sample application. In that Express Cart application, you have MongoDB configuration, and I'll also show you a MySQL, normal MySQL database configuration also I will be showing you. And then user experience agent, I will instrument App Dynamics JavaScript code inside your application, and then I will show you how to get the data. Sorry. So that also I'm going to show you. So all in all, I'm going to give you the application installation configuration level of understanding, and also once the installation done, the data is coming back. That data, how you are going to investigate. Okay, it is a normal data or it is having some problem. In that problem, how I am going to investigate. In App Dynamics, there is a concept called call graph. Okay, there is a concept called call graph. So where the request is actually started, from where the request is actually ending. So that level of understanding also I'm going to bring in using that call graph. It is partial call graph or full call graph, like that. Lot of things are there in App Dynamics. So we are going to learn that as well. And also along with this, apart from these things, I'm going to show you how to take a heap dump and how to take a thread dump in App Dynamics. And I will explain you using a JVisual VM tool, right? Using that, I'm going to explain you how to understand this heap dump and how to understand the thread dump. And I will also cover garbage collection concepts. Okay, what is happening with respect to the garbage collection concepts? What is Eden? What is old generation? In young generation, what is happening in Survivor? What is happening, like that? I will explain you all the different the mechanism that is happening with respect to the garbage collection. That will also be part of our learn. Okay. Any question guys till now? Yeah. So say I told you why people are should move towards this APM tools, right? Like why, what is the purpose of going towards that? Say an example, in this forum, many are currently into performance testing, right? Many are into the performance testing. Say, yeah, Salman, there is a trial SaaS account available for App Dynamics for learning. Okay, so you guys can create your account, and then that will be there for 16 days. 1/6. Okay, that will be there for 16 days. You can do all your learning in that, Salman. Did I answer your question, Salman? Okay, yeah. So it is not only for it is not only for 16 days. It is called as pro license and light license. There are two licenses are there. Pro license will be there for 16 days. Okay, in that in that I will show you how many licenses will be there usually. This is actually a pro license. Okay, what is available is a pro license. Under the license tab, if you go and see, you have 5 units of Java, 5 units of .NET, and then 5 units of PHP, 5 units of Node.js. Everything will available, right? This is a licensing screen basically. Okay, so this is about the pro license, right? Once the that 16 days of pro license is completed, means that will become a light license. In that, after 16 days, okay, in that what will happen? This entire five units will become one unit. 1 unit of Java will be available. 1 unit of .NET will be available, which means that application will be working after 16 days. Only thing is the number of configuration will be reduced. Okay, that is the only difference. Other than that, you can use it for whatever the purpose you want to have it, but don't use it for commercial purpose. For learning purpose, I'm saying we can use it. Okay, so that is about that. So I'll come back here. Say, as a performance tester, what is happening currently? I don't know. In this forum, many will be from Load Runner, JMeter, NeoLoad, Performance Center, whatever. Those are working, right? So, say an example. What you guys will usually do, you will have your browser. You will have your browser, and with that you are going to record your scenario. Okay, and then you will have your tool, whatever the tool, guys. Okay, whatever the tool. Say you have a load runner tool or JMeter tool, whatever. Load runner, JMeter, even Neo loader, whatever tool. Okay, you are having these tools that will be sitting in the middle, and then you are hitting your physical server. The physical server is nothing but your web app DB. Everything comprises of a physical server. Okay, so what is happening currently, guys? You guys can think now. You are giving a request from your browser to the application server. Okay, what is happening? This man in the middle, this performance testing tools, what they are doing, it is taking a copy of your request while going. It will take the copy of the request. Okay, and then it is sending the request to the physical server. It is sending the request to the physical server. Okay, once the server is actually processing all the values, it is giving back the response. Okay, that time what is happening? You are taking the copy of the tool. What it is doing? It is taking the copy of the response. Copy of the response, and then the tool, what it is giving, it is giving that response back to the browser. Till now, while recording, this is what is happening, guys. Whoever is doing whatever the recording in your application, this is what is actually happening, guys. Okay, this is what is really happening. Okay, but if you are thinking, say like while replay, this is happening while recording. Okay, while replay, what is happening? This end, sorry. While replay, what is happening? This entire layer itself not there, guys. This entire layer itself not there. Because what tool will do, tool will tool is having the copy of the request, right? What it will do, it will give the request to the server. The server will process and send back something. There is a response coming from the server. So what tool will do, it will compare the recorded response with the replayed response, which means that it is already having the copy of the response, right? Copy of the response it is having, right? That response, the current response, it will compare. Based on that, it will say pass or fail. Based on that, it will say pass or fail. That is what is happening in all the way all the performance testing tool says. Okay, in this representation, whatever the representation that I gave you right now, right? Anybody can tell me what is missing in this? What is missing in this?
Browser is missing.
Exactly, exactly, Tarun. Yeah, browser is missing. So whatever the report that we are giving, it is not comprised of your browser rendering, browser page painting. Even you can call it as client side response time, right? The client side response time is missing. That is what the problem with your current performance testing report. Those who are submitting their report to the customer, right? And every time we are struggling to convince the customer that whatever we did is right. The performance tester who are submitting the report, right? For them, it is really, really tough job, because what customer will say, whatever the number that you are giving, it is not matching with my production monitoring report. Production numbers are different when compared to your numbers. So what is actually the answer for their question is that the browser rendering and browser page painting numbers are not there in our performance testing report. Okay, and somebody can tell me like, no, I am using true client protocol in load runner, so it will give me that the proper number only. That also it is not. You cannot 100% confident enough to say that whatever you are doing is actually the proper representation of your client side response time, because you cannot simply say what is PNG, what is JPEG, what is HTML, all those numbers and all you cannot represent, right? Yeah, Tarun, there are utility tools are there. That is what I'm saying. This see, each tool will have their own uh, uh, representation, but whatever the regular performance testing tools that we are using, which is not having these metrics categorization. Okay, so basically this is where this APM tool picture is coming into the picture. So what we are doing, these APM tools have different layer level agents are there. For an application agent, for a machine agent, for database agent, even for user experience, a lot of agents are there. Those agents, how it is really helpful, to get the layer level information. So for now, the performance testing tool report, what it is giving, it is a average transaction response time. That's all. It is not giving me a individual response time. Here also somebody can say there is an option in LoadRunner called web page diagnostics. Web page diagnostics is there, but that is also, you cannot get a database level response time. It is only giving you a server level response time. Client time, it is saying the subset of your client response time. Okay, that is how the web page diagnostics is working. So in that way also you are not getting the layer level information. So basically what is that, guys? You, in order to get a layer level report, or in order to get a browser level report, okay, in order to have your some AI, yeah, artificial level understandings, say like auto learning kind of things that you want to auto level learning that you want to do, no, these APM tools are very, 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 very useful. Okay. Sorry. So if I go to Google, say like I'm typing something like tiger or something like that. Okay, so lot of things are coming. lot of things are coming. Say if I go to the images, okay, these are different images, right? In that I am right clicking and I'm saying copy image address. Okay, if I go to my browser and then paste it in the browser and then click enter, what is happening? That image is coming to the center place. Okay, but you, who knows, this page, this in this page, this tiger is not in the center page, it is somewhere. So that is what is happening in our load testing tools or whatever the tools, you are only hitting the URL, that's all, right? Somebody will say like, if I'm recording my application, each and every URL is recorded. How you are saying this page rendering, page painting, you are not capturing like that. You are only recording the URL. That if you are loading that URL, it will say how much time it is taking to download the content. That's all. Okay, but it will not say that image in your physical application under which x-axis and y-axis that image was there. That you cannot say, right? You cannot say that is called as page rendering and page painting. Rendering is nothing but where the image or the content should be positioned, right? That level of understanding these performance testing tools nowadays it is not giving. So that is the reason they are bringing in this concept called this agents and all. So in App Dynamics you have a feature available to capture the metrics in layer level. Layer level metrics can be captured, guys. I'll stop here. Anyone have any question, please ask me, guys.
So I had just one question. So for getting the actual end user kind of response times, where if we are using front end technologies like Angular or something, so where some of the processing, I mean, sometimes most of the processing can be on the front end. Then how can we get the response time? Because from the server response time, it will be very minimal, but as the processing will be done also on the front end, and we have to get the end user response time. So and suppose we have to do it before, like I mean during UAT or something, with the tools. So do we have performance testing tools or load testing tools? Like we have to say test for 100 users. So or so how can we do that with I mean we have this option of APM tool, or are there any load testing tools also in the market?
See, load testing tools is not primarily giving this metric, but this TrueCline protocol somehow will match up the requirement. Okay, the end user, but again it is a round trip time only, but it will somehow match the requirement, this TrueCline protocol. Or else now how people are talking is that like you can execute your you can execute your Selenium script or UFT script and then inject the marker in between and then try to get the metrics. But each whatever the option that I'm telling you, right? All these are workarounds only. It is not that straightforward representation. So that will not be that easy to get under concurrency. But nowadays in the recent trends, people are using these concepts like TrueCline and this Selenium script execution, UFT script execution. Like that, people are predominantly going with. But these APM tools are how they are doing. When the real user monitoring is real user load is actually coming. How that timing it will try to capture the value, the instrumented code, right? That will be loaded under the real user load. That time it will try to simulate the data collection. That is what is happening. And if you wish not concurrency, maybe since you asked this question, I'm telling you. So since because you asked this question, I would say uh, there are tools like GT metrics. There are tools like web page test. There are tools like Lighthouse. Okay, those tools will give you the front end measurements, basically the front end client level measurements, which will help you to understand in a single user perspective. It is not a concurrency one. It is a single user perspective. I don't know whether you already heard of it, but these are the tools that are available, which will give you the front end level measurements. That will help you to go back and then fine tune the for your front end components and then do your analysis. That is possible, Tarun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks. Actually, yeah, I have heard about these tools, but as you said, this is for single user. But if we have to check in some lower environment, and with a high number of users, there is, I mean, is there a tool which can help us getting the actual or comparable end user response times, where most of the processing is on the front end?
Yeah, see, I did not see any tool. The only solution is you going with these APM tools only. Okay, that is how you have to go. There is no tool available to simulate such behavior. But I would say I'll ask you this question to you. Maybe you can answer me. What is the difference if you are going with the load, and what is the difference if you are going with the single user with respect to the front end component?
Uh, no, I mean that with the load, we are mainly concerned with the server response times, and front end is something which will depend on like user to user, and maybe like it will vary based on the
No,
like client.
that's good. You have any understanding that and you have any understanding that there will be a different behavior for the client side, because as far as
Yes,
I know, content is common. In the client side, how you are going to render is the question that you asked, right? That is the individual person activity, right? So if you are trying to simulate in a single user perspective, in single user perspective itself, if it is behaving little
yeah,
weird, means that obviously under the load also it will be the similar behavior, right?
yes,
Yeah. In that case, you try to do this GT metrics, web page test, those things. So that is actually will give you the real picture. Okay.
hmm, okay, yeah,
Yeah, sure. Thank
yeah,
you.
thank you.
Thanks for your question. So, so basically, for this reason, the pictorial representation that I did, right? For this reason only, we are going towards these APM tools, because making the customer to convince that whatever the report that I'm giving is valid. It is nowhere nowadays. People are struggling to do that. That is the reason we are moving towards this APM tools. Okay, these APM tools will help us to get that confidence to talk to the customer. So my report is this one. This is the App Dynamics report. You can see, you can compare and see that this my report is a valued report. Okay, and then you can also see like what is the CPU utilization, memory utilization. Those metrics also available, right? So it will be little easy for you. Say like 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, I'm running my load testing. That time I can come here, see my infrastructure monitoring thing, and then understand what is when I'm running the load, what is happening with respect to the CPU. And I also mentioned you can integrate your load runner with App Dynamics, your JMeter with App Dynamics, right? So what will happen when you are running a transaction, say like A, B, C, D, like that you are running a transaction, that transaction can be monitored in App Dynamics, and then you can have a detailed understanding of where the exact time spent. That level of understanding you can observe it in the App Dynamics case. Okay. So for the demo session, I will show you a sample of in regular session we are going to do a detailed understanding. For now I'm going to show you a sample of agent configuration, maybe. Okay, maybe you guys can understand uh, how we are going to learn the entire journey. This is how the entire journey will be there. So say an example, if I want to do a application level configuration. Okay, so for now I'll only show the configuration guys. In our regular course journey, I will show you how to set up the environment, how to deploy your application. Those explanation also I will tell you when you are going for our regular course journey. For now I'm going to show you a configuration. Okay, a configuration, how you can you can get the data. So if I say create an application, okay, if I say okay, in AppDynamics, guys, these are the agents that are available. These are the agents for application. These are the agents: user experience, database, server, mobile. Like this, you have different agents are available. Say, as I mentioned in my initial discussion, I have a sample application, as I mentioned, right? That application is a Java application. So I'm going to configure a Java application. Means, what should I do? I can click a Java. Okay. Then it will go to the procedure. So it will go to the procedure. So what is the procedure? It will go to the step 1, step 2, like that. Say in my case, I I have this prerequisite. Okay. My JVM is a Sun JRacket JVM. Even I know, as a, or else in your organization you have to go and discuss with your developer and ask what is a JVM. In my case, it is Sun JRacket. So I have a Sun JRacket JVM, and then this is my tenant. You can see my top of the URL. It is my tenant. Through that only I'm going to configure my agent. Okay. I'm saying download the agent. Basically, we have to download it. We have to download the agent. So I'm downloading the agent now. I'm trying to get refreshed. It is actually completed, but it is not reflected over here. Okay. Maybe I'll take that. It is not reflected, but the agent is showing downloaded. I'll take that downloader one to my uh, mm, agent path. Okay, say like I'll paste it here maybe. Here I pasted that one. Okay, say I pasted here. I'll say like I am going to extract this agent. Okay, going to send file. Just a minute. Looks like I took the wrong version maybe. I'll scroll down again. I'll click download again. We'll see it is this time properly download. Let it do. We'll come back here. We'll try with the previously downloaded agent itself. We'll see what is happening. So we downloaded it. Next one, we extracted it. Okay, we extracted it, and then what we have to do, we have to configure this agent in our application. Okay, we have to configure this agent in our application. Okay, say whichever the application server you want to configure, basically it will show here. So what I can do, I can say I'm going to do for Apache Tomcat, means you can see a installation procedure here, but we don't want to do that because I'll explain it. Initially what it is doing, you did the agent download. The agent download part is done. Okay, it is saying agent connected. So what you can do, this time it is properly downloaded. Maybe I'll take this version. So I'll extract this version. Okay, I extracted this version. So what you have to do, you have to go to your application server. Say this also I will explain when we are going for our regular session. No, I will say how to download your application server and how to set up your application inside that. All those information we will share. Okay, now I'm going inside my application. I have Apache Tomcat server deployed in my machine. So I'm going inside that. Inside the just a minute. I will change this name maybe. Okay. What you guys should do, you have to go to the catalina.bat file for for your Apache Tomcat server. What you guys should do, you have to go to the catalina.bat file. Inside that, you have to go and edit your catalina.bat file. So what you guys should do, no, you have to add this line, guys. Okay, you have to add this line. Usually this line will not be there, guys. Usually this line will not be there. You have to add it. Okay, first of all, how I will add, I will tell you. I have a agent path, right? This agent path. This is my agent path now. This is my agent path. My Java agent is here, right? I can give this path directly. Copy this path. I can go here. I can replace this path here. I can replace this path here. So basically this entire line set Catalina OPTS, this entire line you guys should inject inside this catalina.bat file and then save the file, close this, and then go to the path, start the server. And what I'm doing, I'm going to the path, going to the bin path, and then start.bat file, startup.bat file. If I do that, it will start the file basically. In the initial part, you can see full registration, and then you can see Java agent, all classes are loading. Like that, you will get a message, guys. So if this message is coming, which means that your agent is properly configured, your agent is properly configured, then only you are able to see all these information. Okay, if you are not doing your configuration properly, or you positioned your Java agent path somewhere, or you did not have your Java in your machine, okay, try to have JDK 1.8, guys. Okay, try to have JDK 1.8. It will not create any problem at all. Sometimes OpenJDK will create problem, but JDK, Oracle JDK 1.8, it will not create any problem. So I started my server now. Okay, I started my server. How I can check my server is started? I will go to browser, localhost colon 8080 JPEG store. I will see, yeah, my application is up and running. Okay, so if you are going now to back to App Dynamics, okay, so you did configuration. Usually this has to get reflected when you are accessing your application like this in browser, guys. Okay, usually when you are accessing your application in browser, this should actually get connected, but most of the time in App Dynamics this reflection issue will be there, refresh issue will be there. So what you can do, you do some transaction in your application. Say I'm adding a pet, checking out, do some ordering. So basically this website is for the pet buying. Okay, so I'm doing that transaction. Basically I'm doing some actions here. It has to connect automatically, but most of the time there will be a refresh issue, I told you, right? In that case, what you can do, you can go to the application tab, simply go and check it if that is there or what. No, it is still not available. Okay, again what I can do, I can go back, get started wizard, Java wizard. I can go again to check that what is happening. Still it requires little more load also. So what I can do, again I can go here, create some kind of a load. This you have to create some kind of a load, and then it will usually take close to 2 to 3 minutes of a time to get the data reflected. It will take 2 to 3 minutes, but usually, yeah, you can see that the application started coming here. You can see, guys, the application started coming here. So till now also what you guys should do, you guys should also create little more traffic. So the agent, what agent is doing, the agent should collect the data, then only it will actually process the data, send it to your App Dynamics, and then you will get that understanding. Say today's session I showed you only the data collection part, right? But when you are going for our regular session, I will show you the architecture, basically how this is actually happening, what agent is actually doing, how it is sending the data back to the App Dynamics controller. All those things we will learn this. Okay, so in order to make you guys like how we are really doing with respect to the agent configuration only, I showed you a sample of it. If you go inside, you will have a representation of how your data collected. Okay, just a minute. It is taking little time, but usually it will take 2 to 3 minutes to get the data back into your App Dynamics. I'll also do little more traffic also. I'm creating certain other traffic in the third page or fourth page, like that. This is just a page load that I'm doing. Coming back to App Dynamics again, going to the application tab, you can see the data started coming, guys. Okay, the response time, calls per minute, and also the intelligence built in App Dynamics. It will tell you what are all the nodes, tiers that are connected. I'll explain when we are going for a regular session. These explanation will be there. What is nodes, what is tiers, how it is connected, how it is giving this graph, and all those information will be sharing this. Okay, I'll take a pass here. Anybody have any question till now, guys?
Hi, sir. This is. I have a couple of questions. Actually,
Your voice is breaking. Mekala Satish, your voice is breaking.
it's clear, sir.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah.
Yeah, in my organization currently they are moving to the trap dynamics, but they don't have any idea. Like I only have to install that app dynamics and I have to configure the agent, all those things. But it's a better thing for if you explain like in detail, like with the steps, how to
Yeah, yeah,
download and how to configure all
yeah.
those
That
things.
that will be there, Megla. Yeah, it will be there. We'll do that.
You
Okay,
will
so
cover in regular classes also, right? First downloading and installing, configuring the agent, all
yeah,
those
yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah. It will be there. It will be there. So see, as
Oh,
part of the demo session, I just want to show you all the capability of App Dynamics. That is the reason I showed this. In our regular classes, I will be showing you end to end this application setup, in that agent setup, and then how the data is coming, how we are going to investigate. Everything will be there. Yeah,
yeah, even our local practice also we can use that JPEG store which we use, right?
I'll
I can.
I'll share through Google Drive. Share through Google
Oh,
Drive.
okay,
Yeah.
that's all.
One more question here. Will we be looking at only the, for like, as you said, there is a sample application. So can we look at some database applications also, or say some other types of
Yeah,
applications,
that
some
is what I
messaging servers and yeah.
see. That is what I mentioned. We are going to see MySQL DB configuration, MongoDB configuration,
Mhm.
Node.js configuration, and then this. Now I showed you Java configuration, and then user experience configuration, and then machine agent configuration will be there. Tarun.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, sure.
All these covered in the tutorials or in the lecture also.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is there.
Okay. So in the lecture we start from the scratch.
Yeah, correct, correct. We'll start from the
Okay.
architecture diagram basically, from what is SaaS model, what is on-premises model, and then we are going to get to in what way SaaS model is best, what way on-premises is best. Like that, we'll start off from the scratch.
Eh,
Okay.
One, yes, one more question here. So, like in the distributed like cloud setup, we have like auto provisioning of the servers. So, in case like there is we are experiencing more load, so it will automatically like auto provision. So, in that type of scenario, how we will catch the like performance issues, because will we be looking at that type of thing, like something
See,
related to cloud?
that is the known factor only, right, Tarun? Irrespective of any tool, auto scaling, elasticity, containers, Kubernetes are there, means that the monitoring capability little different. So it is nowadays with many customer where we are talking about this elasticity, cloud, auto scaling concept and all. That time the customer will say, how you are saying CPU utilization, memory utilization will be that critical here. That is a different story, but that will not be the generic story, right? Because there are very few customers are using this containers, Kubernetes, AWS, or in AWS also auto scaling concepts and all. Very few customers are using. But monitoring is a concept. Monitoring is a concept irrespective of the infrastructure that we can do, Tarun. That is a common procedure we can do.
Okay, but that cloud examples will be out of scope, right?
This one, right? Because it needs certain investment also, right, Tarun? But that is a see
Hmm.
one thing. If somebody is asking uh, certain things, I usually think of whether it is coming under the license of App Dynamics. That usually I'll think it of. Other one is if it is a cost effective thing, that is usually coming. So that's the way we think it of. And then the one that we are asking, right, that will not come under the normal the licensing that is available with this trial license, this trial
Okay.
license. Usually it will cost a lot.
yeah, I mean, at least like if you can tell the conceptually also like how it will be monitoring will be different if we have like Kubernetes and auto provisioning and then those things are there. So if then I think monitoring will be the similar like the settings and all will be similar for them in App Dynamics, or will it be different?
No, the configuration is we have to do. Say like if you have containers, you can see the screen now.
Yes.
There is a separate tab for container itself. If you are configuring that, the data will be populating here. Okay, once you configuring your container configurations. Okay, that is the bare minimum thing we have to do. Okay, maybe since you are expecting, I will try to give you a theoretical understanding of how that is actually happening. That we can do. We can do.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, sure. So guys, that's about our demo session. So say those who are actually from tomorrow, maybe the session will be day one session will be starting from tomorrow, the same time slot. Okay, those who are saying like I'm interested for proceed with this class, okay, you can reach out to Kumar. Okay, you can reach out to Kumar for further information, even the commercial details. Also, you can reach out to Kumar for further detail. From tomorrow, the regular sessions will be starting, and then I know people are coming from multiple platform. We have a group running in WhatsApp. App Dynamics group is there. In that, we usually post related things, or we usually post the information related to the App Dynamics section. Okay, so if somebody is coming from different platform, say using Facebook groups or something like that, if you wish to add your name, add your number in that group, you can ping your number in the chat as well. Okay, and those who are interested with the class, you can discuss with Kumar. This is mobile number of Kumar. You can discuss with him, guys. Okay. Thanks for giving this opportunity to me to take demo session with you people. All wonderful questions we discuss here. I hope we will travel in this course journey to learn App Dynamics in detail. We saw only the capability of App Dynamics today. In the regular course journey, we'll go in detail of each and everything, and we'll understand the depth of App Dynamics. Together, we'll all learn that. Thanks everyone again. Have a nice day, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.